Since 1987, Cassidy School has recognized graduates who have made exceptional contributions in their fields, including business, science, medicine, education, our nation's defense, the arts, and the culinary arts. Tonight, we have 5 recipients of 3 awards.
Growing up, I was never the smartest student in any of my math and science classes. I had to work really hard at school, and it's fair to say that I wasn't exactly a straight-A student. For 7 years, I worked on many different aspects of missiles for the Air Force, including designing circuit cards, which are those green things you find in electronics, and integrating parts piece by piece to create an entire missile. It was very rewarding to know that the technology I was working on was aiding our armed forces. Last year, I decided to move to Denver, Colorado, because Denver is amazing. And so Raytheon allowed me the opportunity to transfer within there, and now I work on satellite ground stations. And ground stations are where the satellites dump all their data to. So my program collects weather for NASA, for forecasts and climate change predictions. So all your weather apps are from our satellites, so you're welcome. But I don't know what my future holds, and I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. But with my education, I have more opportunities to explore everything the world has to offer. And I'm thankful for the well-rounded education I received from Cassidy, including athletics and academics. I learned leadership and time management with sports, and I've used the other academic disciplines, English, history, art, and languages, in my personal life and my travels all around the world. So again, thank you so much for this award.
It's also especially fun to share this award with Catherine, who I shared the volleyball court with back in high school. I think it's a testament to the values of hard work and leadership that we learned here at Cassidy. And for me, I was definitely not the best athlete. Catherine was much better than me. I definitely wasn't the smartest. But my teachers and coaches really pushed me to be the best that I could be and to do everything with passion. So they also sparked interest that I continue to develop to this day. They taught me to value and appreciate other cultures and religions. They taught me to understand that learning languages is an important gateway to the world. So at university, I expanded my world and interests and started focusing on the Middle East. I took Arabic language class after Arabic language class and studied abroad in Morocco. I knew that I wanted to work on development in the Middle East. About 3 years ago, I arrived in Gaziantep, Turkey, which is a large city, probably comparable to Oklahoma City, located on the Turkish-Syrian border, about 60 kilometers from the Turkish-Syrian border. And I remember I was having a conversation, one of my first conversations when I arrived there, with a Syrian woman who had fled. And I'll never forget her words. She said, "Syria is bleeding. Syria is bleeding and the world is watching." So over the past 3 years, I've worked to support these individuals and organizations through USAID's Office of Transition Initiatives, which your tax dollars go towards paying. Doing grant development, monitoring evaluation of grants and research. And so OTI is funding a program to support local governments and civil society organizations in opposition-controlled areas of Syria, with the hope that one day they'll be the ones that set the foundations for a transition in Syria. The world is big, or as my dad says, it's a big old world out there. The turns in life are many and the journey is long. I'm really happy to be home and here at Cassidy, where I can honestly say my journey started, where I gained an interest in seeing the world and the importance of serving others. So thank you very much for this work.
One of the things that people don't realize about me is that I have a huge fear of public speaking, which is kind of weird given my vocation. And especially talks like these are the most stressful because you know, it's not like a Sunday sermon where if you blow it, the next week they'll be back. This is a one-shot deal. So basically, I'd like to thank Cassidy for 3 main gifts that I think that Cassidy gave to me. First and foremost, obviously, is a good, solid academic foundation. The other lasting gift that Cassidy, I think, has given is friendships that have lasted a lifetime. When we look at our blessings in life, and I can safely say that some of the friendships I have made here have been among the most life-giving and supportive, and without some of them, especially John and Ed and some others, I can't imagine what life would be like. The last thing I would just like to say that I think truly made a difference, I must admit, and even though I am a Catholic priest, was the religious dimension of Cassidy and Daily Chapel. Because you have to realize for many kids, that just brief prayer and little talk and hymn every day, that might be their only exposure to religion of any kind. So some of my fondest memories were of that 15 minutes every day. This morning as I was celebrating our school mass, one of the 8th grade boys walked by and he had his shirt tail untucked. And I said, "Mr. Smith, are we at school or at the state fair?" And he looked at me and he said, "Well, of course, Father, we're at school." And I said, "Well, our casual attire would indicate otherwise." And I thought Margaret Tuck would be pleased at that
comment. It's kind of interesting when, and I appreciate the young lady was talking about engineering. When I first went to OU, I was going to be an engineer. And then I took physical science. And the next semester I was at the business school. I've never had a class like that. But I mentioned that about Oklahoma City. I would have loved to have done my community work here. I've seen so many great community leaders who've been examples to me. Many of them who have been Cassidy graduates. But you know, God sends you where He needs you and where He wants you at the time. And so you give the best you can. You hope you make a difference. You know, once you've done what you can do, that's all you can do. So I've had great experiences, and I've had great friends, a great family. And you know, I hope God will continue to use me in some way to continue to try to make a positive difference, particularly with our young people who've given up hope. And when you see young people, 14 and 15, 16, who don't even think they're going to live past the age of 21, it's very heart-wrenching, and it's very disappointing to know that for some of them you'll never be able to reach them. But all we can do is try, like the young lady mentioned about her work, trying to help the refugees. All you can do is what you can do. You know, God works through people. You know, He has the power that if He just snapped His finger or blew His breath, He could solve whatever issues we have. But He expects us as His people to be kind, compassionate, and to serve humankind. So I'm honored that I've had that opportunity in life, and I'm very honored that the Catholic Alumni Association and other officers felt that I was worthy enough to receive this award. And I want to thank my friend Mark Clay again for being a great friend and for introducing me and someone who I always know I can count on. May God bless all of you.
You know, as I reflect back on my time at Cassidy, now I certainly realize how lucky we are to be a part of this institution. Back when, or at a time, we might not have liked everything about going to Cassidy or being here. You know, the rules were pretty strict. Certainly the schoolwork was hard. We couldn't leave campus. And for the guys, we had to have short hair, above the ears and above the collars. And that was something we hated, but look at this now, you know. That was something that was really hard. You know, it might be cliche to call it the Cassidy family, but it really is. Cassidy's like a mother who nurtures, a father who sets the bar for you and shows you the right way to do things, and your classmates and the student body as a whole are really your brothers and sisters. I think Cassidy's intent has always been to set high standards. It's in the way we were taught, by the guidance and the rules that we were expected to follow here, the campus setting that kept us all together here as a student body, the daily chapel services that brought us together for announcements, entertainment, and reflection. It was really an important way for us all to gather as one in the morning and start the day with a given message and encouragement daily that we could all achieve what was set out for us. All of us have a very unique situation having gone to this school, many being together from kindergarten through 12th grade. It's a situation which gave us all the opportunity to make that lifelong connection that I think many of us hold very dear. We really are a Cassidy family, and I think that that is something that's very special.
You know, our mission statement is clear. We develop excellence, confidence, and integrity in our students, and we prepare them with skills and knowledge that serve as a foundation for their success. And at the risk of making the mistake of a former president, I think it's fair to say tonight that we have 5 students that I can confidently say mission accomplished.